Hello everyone, I'm Ricky R. Levon, author of Prelude to Greatness, Bible study on the books of Titus and Philemon. In this author advice, I wanted to encourage you that no idea is too small to write. This video is inspired by the compact biblical study into Titus and Philemon, which are both small compared to the many other books in the Bible. The goal is to give you a few things to think about while boosting you and boasting and helping you to write that book or study guide, no matter the size. First thing to consider is the subject itself. This book is on two smaller subjects in the Bible, and so was Out of Darkness, which covered the book of Jonah. Just because something is small doesn't mean it lacks importance. Your subject could be spiritual, scientific, emotional, has social goals, or even personal growth. For example, you might want to talk about a particular primate that lives on the island of Madagascar. Or how about how do churches living in Las Vegas deal with the various promotion of sin that is prevalent? What is the economic development around bowl games for their host cities? Now, of course, all three of those is random, but deals with either a specific sector of the population or a small subject matter. This leads to the next point. Who is your audience? And that is something you need to consider when writing your book. Some stories are written for a wide range of people. Star Wars, films, books, video games, all of the above, is written for anyone and everyone who loves adventure stories or science fiction and fantasy. However, a book or a film on the art scene in Ames, Iowa might be more for enthusiasts of either art or those who love Iowa culture. Regardless of the book, knowing your audience is key. And because of your audience, then the next thing to contemplate is your goal. Are you trying to make this a national bestseller or something to hand out at a church or a local function? Your goals have to be in line with your audience. If the book is written for a very small select group of people, then it's not best to expect that your book would necessarily reside on the national bestsellers list. Instead, it's going to be more or less something personal, local, or just for a few people, family, and friends. Now, the next step is also very important. You have to research your subject. It is important that due to exploration of the book or study guide, it could grow. And what I mean by that the book could grow after exploration, study, and research is that, for example, while writing Stir Up the Gifts, it was evident that what I had as an outline almost tripled the book in size. So originally it was going to be one thing, and then it grew. Once that book comes out, you'll see what I mean, depending, of course, when you're looking at this video. Now, this came about from the research and realizing the book could be expanded and should be. However, that was not the case for Prelude to Greatness, in that only one extra lesson got added, which is the first one, to the book, but as a whole, the book actually laid out the way I expected. Sometimes it just depends. The one thing to do is make sure you have the best possible book for the subject you choose. Don't look back and wish it was better. Make it better. Make it the best it can, and research really helps with that. Now, once you have some research completed, create an abbreviated outline and then, of course, write the book. Now, using the outline not as a hard structure, but something that provides a guideline. This only provides some structure, but shouldn't be so rigid that you're not allowing some fluidity and creativity to be in the book. Having an outline does help keep writer's block down to a minimum. It won't stop it all the time, but it does help. And while writing, just make sure to write. And what I mean by this is don't try and stop and correct everything while you're writing. Depending on your computer, you'll probably have all sorts of marks under words for misspellings and incorrect punctuation. It's okay. Push through that and get your ideas down. That's what's most important. Go back and make all the corrections that are needed. Remember, this is your first draft. The first draft of any book is never the best draft. Instead, just write. Get your ideas down, then edit. And after you finish with that, with the first draft, and you edit, And then you do a little more research because ideas might have sprung up while writing, and write and edit some more. And then you edit and edit and edit. And if you can afford it, see if you can get someone to look over your work, or I would suggest even getting Grammarly. That system is fantastic. Now once you've edited your book to the best it can be, then is when you move to the next step. Publishing. Now publishing is obvious, next part of the book's process, but depending upon your goals, remember we talked about that earlier, is where you take it from there. If the book was made for people in an organization or church, they consider the self-publishing method. This way you can get something professional while not worrying about some major company going through a hassle because it might not fit their needs of being a national seller. One site to consider is KDP, which is under Amazon. If you believe your book could sell to the masses, then think about going with an agent or sending query letters to the various booksellers, publishers. There are sites on how to craft a query letter and what are certain book publishers looking for. However, using a self-publishing method here is also viable as well. Like before, think about KDP because they will release your book to anyone around the world through the various Amazon platforms. Plus, there's an option to have your book available to other book retailers as well. However, there's also plenty of other vanity presses and self-publishing options. Type that into your search bar and then just kind of like look and see. Now once that's done, then you can promote your small subject book or make sure it's ready for your small group. Well, I hope that helps and encourage you to do it. Write the book no matter the size you believe the subject might be. Someone out there could very much enjoy what you have taken the time to create. For more on Prelude to Greatness, please visit lavari.com/preludegreatness or click on the link in the description below. And you know what? Also, I'll make sure to put a link in the description for KDP, just so you can be able to check them out and see more about them. Well, thank you so much for your support and make sure to have a great day.